Hello, Carly. Do you have a moment? Oh, good evening, Helen. Mom. Is there something I can help you with? This Sunday I'm having some friends over for a little tea party, 4 of us to be exact. I was hoping you would bake some homemade cookies and a cake for us. And, of course, I will want you to help out serving and whatnot. I'm so sorry. I'm busy on that day. Huh? You can't get over here? I already made plans on that day. A bit hard for me to make it over there. Oh, really? I provided this opportunity for my daughter-in-law to showcase her cooking skills. Thought it would be a great way to leave a good impression on my friends. I went out of my way to provide you with this opportunity and you reject it? That's why everyone says you're inconsiderate daughter-in-law. You seem to be the only one calling me an inconsiderate daughter-in-law. How could you say such a disrespectful thing to your mother-in-law? I also experienced being a daughter-in-law, therefore I know when you're being inconsiderate. Even if no one else is saying it. If I'm saying you're inconsiderate daughter-in-law, well, it's the same as if everyone is saying it. I see. I'm giving you a chance here to redeem yourself. Make a good impression. I simply cannot believe your behavior. Like I said, I already made plans for this Sunday. Then simply reschedule. I'm really sorry. I wish I could, but I just can't. That day is... What are you saying? You didn't forget, did you? I never forget things, unlike you. Don't treat me like I'm going senile or something. Please, I'm not implying such a thing. So do you still want me to change my schedule? Oh, just forget it. If you're so reluctant, don't come. Besides, you get here with that attitude and serve my friends. I'll be the one that will end up embarrassed. But I still want you to make the cookies and cake. I'm really sorry, but I don't have the time for that either. Just bring it to the house on Sunday morning. You're not hearing me. I can't do it. Okay, I'll be waiting for those delicious cookies. I'll say it again. No is no. Helen, Mom, can we talk? It seems you entered the house while Frank and I were out. Can I ask what you were up to? Hello, Carly. By the looks of it, you somehow managed to make that cake I requested. Thought you were busy. Huh? What are you saying? You didn't bring it over, so I went there to reprimand you, but then I saw that you did indeed prepare something. That cake was more than enough for my guest. So I will forgive you just this time. Like I said, what are you saying? Oh, yes, that reminds me. All the food on the table. I threw it out. What was all that? Little finger sandwiches, canapes, little bits of chicken? So that's how you cook dinner, is it? Just pile it up on one big plate like some community plate. Disgusting. You really should learn to cook and prepare food properly. Plates, bowls, butter plates. There is an art to serving food, you know. Kids won't learn proper etiquette if you serve food on one big plate like it's party food. Well, at least bring back the cake. Oh my God, how time flies. My friends will be arriving soon. Please, Helen, Mom, please bring the cake back. Please. I made that for today. It's a special occasion. Yes, that's exactly right. Thank you so much for the cake. I can't believe you're doing this knowing full well what today is. Oh, my friends have arrived. Sorry, I won't be able to return your line messages. Mom, please. Carly, what was all that today? How dare you come to my place and shout into the intercom? If you want that cake so bad, go buy one down the street. All my friends were shocked. You yelling for your cake back. I was so humiliated. Answer me. Say something. The messages alerts were getting on my nerves, so it's you. Mom, what do you want now? Getting on your nerves, huh? You locked the door, ignored my pleas, and enjoyed the cake with your friends. Well, you seem to have a problem with your attitude. That's not my problem. What did you just say? How dare you talk to your mother-in-law like that? My son will hear of this. Helen, you know perfectly well what day today is. And you do this? So you hate your daughter-in-law, but do you also hate your grandson? Huh? You just completely ruined your grandson's birthday party. Huh? Birthday? That's right. It's your grandson Christopher's birthday today. Wait 1 second. Would you... Christopher's birthday? Today? What? Are you serious? You had no idea? His birthday. It was today? That's right. It was his 7th birthday today. Happy birthday was written on the cake. Or did you not see that? I didn't notice it. Huh? But you said you never forget such things. What was that all about? I thought you were talking about your little get-together with friends. Huh? Seriously? You know, you meet once a month, right? That was when he was in kindergarten. I don't meet with those moms anymore. Besides, I told you about Christopher's birthday party many times. I told you that I was inviting friends and Christopher's kindergarten friends today. I also said not to make any last-minute requests because I was busy preparing for the party. Really, I don't really recall. Your husband was there too, so I'm sure he remembers. Oh, I see. Well, then. Why didn't you mention it when I was talking about having that tea party with my friends? If you had just simply mentioned that, well, we wouldn't be in this mess. Every time I try to tell you something, you always cut me off. You get upset for interrupting. Then you turn around and spread rumors about me, making me look like some kind of monster. But... Helen, Mom, I'm really sick of this. I just wish you would stop giving me a hard time. I never... The main problem seems to be that you never really listen to what I have to say. Every time I try to explain something to you, you always brush me off. I sent you a line message on numerous occasions, but again, you would just turn your nose up at it, not even see it. I never did that. Oh yes, you did. In fact, about 6 months ago, I told you in advance that we would be gone for 2 days to visit my folks, but you, as always, ignored her message and came right over. Thinking we were there, you started shouting in the intercom and ringing the doorbell over and over again. You made such a racket that the neighbors got worried and called my folks. I was so humiliated. No use dredging all that up. What's past is past. It was not only that. When Christopher and I came down with the flu, I asked you not to come over for at least a week, but there you were banging on the door, shouting into the intercom. I'm sure you remember we were endlessly going back and forth on the intercom. You probably don't even care, but I had a severe fever and could hardly stand up. What's more, Christopher had finally fallen asleep after tossing and turning all night. Because of your non-stop bell ringing and door banging, Christopher was in bad shape. If your husband hadn't come and got you, Christopher's fever would have worsened. I can never forgive you for that. Well, that was because... And there's one more thing I want to add. You didn't attend Christopher's birthday party last year either, am I right? Huh? Such a waste. I invited you way in advance. A friend apparently called you on that day and you went shopping, as I recall. But your husband showed up. Actually, we were all befuddled by your actions. That's why we decided not to invite you, but I never figured you'd steal Christopher's cake and dump all the party dishes into the trash. Unbelievable. I simply just forgot. You can't fault me for being a little careless. But I have to say, this really takes the cake, literally. Huh? You don't seem to repent. Think about what you did. You stole Christopher's birthday cake. You dumped all the party dishes into the trash. As a result, we had to cancel the entire party and send everyone home. But fortunately, everyone was very understanding and we were able to postpone the party until next week. Do you realize how much damage you caused? Do you realize how much Christopher cried? Come on, you're being overdramatic. Besides, in situations like this, you should have been more resourceful. Resourceful? Yes, you could have just gone out and bought everything you needed. And there is Uber. I do know that the supermarket is right nearby and the bakery down the street was still open. If you're a mother, you have to be resourceful in order to overcome any kind of obstacle, such as today. That's your problem. You don't have the adequate resources to be a good mom. Wow, I really don't have the energy to like you today. Huh? You do know that Christopher is allergic to wheat flour. Huh? Yes, a couple of other kids we invited are also allergic to flour. That's why I prepared the cake and cookies using rice flour rather than wheat. But that was all kaput, thanks to yours truly. You say, just go buy it at the supermarket. Well, it's not that simple. Allergy? Christopher is allergic to wheat? Huh? Are you being serious? You weren't even aware of it? This is a serious matter, you know? Well, I was. So whenever Christopher went to visit your house, he never ate any wheat-related foods. What did you think? I just thought your bad attitude just rubbed off on him. Am I hearing you right? I really don't understand why you enjoy giving me a hard time, but I'm sure your son explained Christopher's allergy problem on numerous occasions. How could you be so oblivious to such a serious issue? Christopher's life may have been at stake here. To be honest, I never want to see your face again. My husband was also following this conversation. He was so angry that he stormed over there and gave my mother-in-law a real dressing down. And she finally confessed to all the pestering and the atrocities treatment of me. It turns out she took credit for making the cake, and as for me, of course, she depicted me as some kind of monster that never cooked or took care of the family, much less her child. But fortunately, such lies don't get very far. People who know me quickly refuted such blatant lies. She couldn't handle all the whispering and rumors about her that she decided to move away, to a relative's place way out in the country. And her husband seemed to come to his wits' end too. This incident seemed to be the last straw for him. Apparently, he finally submitted papers for divorce.
Hey, I saw you're hosting.
What?
I'm Alice. I'm 16. I'm looking for somewhere to stay. Is your place still available?
What the? Sorry, who is this? I don't have you saved.
I'm Alice from the couchsurfing site.
What site?
I found your details and added you. Don't you remember?
I don't, sorry.
Wow, your number's on the site, you know?
On the site? So someone's put my number online?
Looks that way. It's probably not a big deal. Anyway, do you think you could let me stay? Please?
Is this a prank or something? Do I have to block you?
No prank. I'm serious.
So you're really 16?
Of course I am. A fresh sophomore. I could send you a photo if you don't believe me. We do live in the same city, right? Even the same county isn't a problem for me.
Be serious for a second.
Huh?
You're 16, asking a stranger for a place to stay? Don't you realize how dangerous that is? You can't be too careful these days. There's a lot of creeps around.
What's this? Thanks for the lecture, Dad. Why are you saying this?
Why? Because you're not legally an adult. Do you do this often?
This is the first time, actually.
Make it the last, and I'll get my number off of that site. Deal? And be careful online, okay? It can be dangerous. You mustn't reach out to people like this.
Wait, I don't have anywhere to go. For real.
Just go home, okay?
I have no home. I know I'm asking a lot, but please help me. I have no one to turn to.
I'm really sorry. I'd like to help, but what could I even do?
Could you just hear me out for a second?
What is it?
It's my dad. A while back, he divorced my mom, and I've been living with him since. Recently, he started being abusive. He's been hurting me.
Hurting? Like physically?
It's okay, I can deal with a little. But recently it's gotten more frequent. Like, if housework isn't done, or if my grades are bad. Or if anything isn't how he wants. I'm always terrified of him. I can't handle much more. So I guess I've run away?
Have you told anyone about this?
I have, yes. I've actually discussed it with one of my teachers, but they don't seem to be doing anything. Maybe they're concerned about interfering? Anyway, I've had to get away.
I see. I'm sorry to hear about your situation. Where are you now?
Near the subway.
All right, I think I can help. Could you take a taxi? I'll send you the address for my parents' place. I'll let them know the situation shortly.
Wait, you believe me? Even though I could be messing with you?
Honestly, I think it's worth trying in case you are serious. It's probably best I don't come to meet you. This is a sensitive situation, and we need to be careful. However, my parents will welcome you if you're okay heading to them.
Really? I don't want to be a burden.
Don't worry about that. If you're truly in need of help, that is.
I am, really.
Then we'll help you get everything you need. Would you let me deal with your dad? I just want to talk for now.
You can try. Sorry, yes, please, Mr. Everett. But why would you do all of this for a stranger?
Never mind that. Excuse me for sending a message out of the blue so late in the evening. Your daughter Alice gave me your contact details. I am John Everett. Hello? How do you know my daughter? She seems to have contacted me by mistake, and we've been talking as a result. Did she really? Sounds like something she'd do. She could be a handful. Sorry she bothered you. You need something from me? Actually, I would just like you to know that Alice is at my parents' place. They're keeping an eye on her at the moment. Your parents' place, huh? That's right. From what we've discussed, it seems she doesn't want to return home? I thought it best not to meet her myself, so asked my parents to do so instead. I see. Well, again, I'm sorry for all this. I'll head over immediately. That may not be necessary, sir. Why not? Alice has confided in me about her life at home. What about it? Well, seems she doesn't have a very stable relationship with you. So I contacted you to get a better understanding of the situation. I figured if I'd spoken with you, she might consider heading home. Okay, seems there's no problem then. What do you mean? She's in high school, you know that, right? She thinks her life is difficult and confusing right now. A lot of kids that age become very emotional and start acting out. Their relationship with their parents becomes strained. It's real common. Running away isn't normal, though, is it? And she's become quite the liar. Like a pathological liar, you know? Like a compulsive liar? That's right. She lies constantly. She's put me through hell with it all. Her teachers have even questioned my parenting because of it. I don't know what she said to you, but don't buy it. You're probably not the first person she's tried to pull this on. Anyway, I guess it's best I come get her. What's the address? Adults know best, huh? Seems you've been taking advantage of that phrase recently. What? If you told her teacher what you just told me, I think they'd have no option but to believe you. Okay, what's that supposed to mean? It means that whenever Alice sought help, you would just explain the situation away, like you've just tried to do with me. Oh, I see. So you're saying you believe the lies of a minor over her father? Got it. In that case, I'll have the cops resolve this. Do you think it's a smart idea for you to get the police involved? Yeah, I think it's pretty normal to go to the police when there's been a kidnapping. This isn't kidnapping. I simply wanted to know about Alice's life at home. I have nothing to say to you. The sooner this safekeeping charade is thwarted, the better. What are you talking about? Is there a woman in your life? I'm single, if that's what you're asking. Of course you are. Found yourself a schoolgirl to groom, didn't you? You're disgusting. That's not what this is. If you don't want the law involved, you'd better let my daughter go right now. I can picture the story now. Middle-aged loner desperately preys on underage girls. I'm a widower. I'm sorry to say I lost my wife a few years ago, and I have no desire to replace her. Lies. I could see your profile, you know? You don't even look 40. How's your career going? 'Cause it'll be hard to find work when you're a known sex offender. You're finished. What is this? A sudden mood change and threatening words. This is congruous with what your daughter has told me. Let my daughter go right now. I don't need the opinions of a pervert. Stay in your own pathetic bubble. I can't bring myself to return a child to a potentially dangerous household. What the hell are you saying, man? My mother has discovered injuries on her. A lot of injuries that were concealed by clothing. It would be immoral to subject her to more of such treatment. Cool, man. Expect the police real soon. You've just admitted to stripping a 16-year-old. So I hope you like prison life, you piece of garbage. Alice will be well looked after. Well, I guess I'm gonna be when I see a return on my investment. You're not gonna interfere with that. Not that you could. Investment? Right. You think I'd have kids just for the trouble of raising them? I'm gonna marry her off to the son of someone important before long. What are you talking about? This is what kids are for. This is traditional behavior. Don't you know that royal families in Europe used to marry their children off to each other for power? That's why people have kids. They may try to deny it, but it's a fact. Be honest, what do you want from yours? I'm sorry, I don't completely get what you're saying. Moron, you must want something out of your kids. Like maybe have them care for you in your old age. Financial assistance when they're working. Like I said, they're an investment. You know what an investment is, right? I don't have kids. I can't believe that would be the only reason to have them, though. Your views on raising children are upsetting. Must be nice being free to do whatever, whenever. It's gonna bite you in the ass when you're a lonely old loser, though. Maybe you could pretend you're Alice's father for the evening. You can bring her back tomorrow. You're leaving your own daughter out all night? I have my own plans tonight. Don't need this ruining them. But remember, you're a creep who's violated a girl's rights. You have no options here. If she's not back tomorrow, I'll go to the cops. Have a great night. I told you last night, didn't I? Could have just brought Alice home to save yourself a whole lot of trouble. But no, you had to screw yourself. I'd rather the cops brought Alice home anyway. Enjoy your ride to the station. If this is how you want to do things. Feel free to file a report. However, I'd appreciate if you wait until CPS can assess the situation. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. Then I'll have to hope they begin their investigation before the police interfere. Why are you trying so hard to ruin me? My apologies, sir. But I can't return a child to an abusive household. I must seek protection for Alice. What protection? Protection from what? You think you could just separate a girl from her father? Nothing can happen without my permission, idiot. Of course, in a normal situation, you'd have some say. But the injuries you've inflicted on your poor daughter raise concerns about her safety. And I'm afraid the CPS can and will have her removed from your home. Alice has already shown the desire to get away, has she not? She doesn't really want this, does she? Seems so. My father was a lawyer, and we discussed everything last night. He's helped Alice understand her options. It wasn't easy for her. She cried the whole time. But ultimately, she decided to involve the CPS, and we intend to help however we can. Liar! A lawyer, how convenient. You're just worried about the cops showing up. Because you're a pervert and a kidnapper. I'll admit the police might interfere for now. But we have faith that the CPS will help Alice before long. Finding suitable foster parents may take some time. She's even suggested I adopt her. Regardless, all that matters is that she's out of your reach. You, a known pervert, adopt Alice? You can't. I've got to take her to meet her future husband next week. I might not get the chance again. You're ruining everything. Children aren't tools. I mean, seeing as you're not the European royalty of the Middle Ages you admire so much. But even if you were, I'm sure your unfortunate disposition would be a significant obstacle in realizing your plans. Oh, and by the way, seems we have a mutual friend involved in all of this? Ugh, that's just great. Yeah, Alice told me about your work, and I happen to have worked with some of your colleagues over the years. Nice try, hotshot. I know we don't work together, dumbass. Yes, you're right, but my company has collaborated with yours many times. I even have Mr. Miller's personal phone number. What? How? This isn't fair. My boss. I feel obligated to tell him about your treatment of Alice, but I hope it doesn't affect your job. I guess it seems like you're losing out on your little European marriage fantasy. That's not the only thing you're losing, though. Looks like you'll need to find a new job, too. With that, I decided to ignore any further messages from Austin. He didn't know where I lived, so I wasn't concerned about being harassed. However, I still asked those with connections to him to be careful with my personal information. Unfortunately, Alice had to change schools, but she didn't seem to mind too much. She said she'd like to stay in touch with old friends, but she understood it may be difficult with a fresh start. She was very positive about her future. I later heard from Mr. Miller regarding her father. Seems he was let go from his job and fell quite spectacularly. He turned to alcohol, which led to his involvement in a physical altercation. He's now making a living doing day jobs. As for me, well, I actually went ahead and applied to adopt Alice. My application was successful, and I've been acting as her legal guardian since. She's been no trouble at all. My parents are over the moon, too. My disinterest in remarrying made them lose hope that they'd ever have grandchildren. Now, they visit so often, I'm more or less providing for all four of us. I've always believed everything happens for a reason, and Alice's messaging me must have been some kind of miracle. I'm sure my late wife is watching, astounded. And I know she would have loved Alice too. Of course, we're both still getting used to each other. But I think if we just take things step by step, someday we'll truly be family.